Hello everyone. Today, I have a story for you. A story from a deep forest where a tiny owl discovers one of the greatest secrets of emotional strength. By the end of this story, you will see how patience and inner calm can change your whole life. Everleaf Forest was a living painting. Tall pine trees whispered in the wind. The smell of wet earth spread after every small rainfall. The river hummed softly as it flowed between mossy rocks. Sunlight broke through the branches in golden beams. Every morning, the forest woke up with sounds: chattering squirrels, singing birds, rustling leaves, distant waterfalls, and in an ancient oak tree, older than anyone remembered, lived a young owl named Orin. Orin had soft cloud-gray feathers and golden eyes that shimmered at night. He could rotate his head far and hear even a beetle crawling on bark. But all his abilities couldn't help him with one simple thing: he got bothered too easily. If someone laughed loudly, he felt annoyed. If someone teased him, he felt hurt. If someone ignored him, he felt worried and confused. Whenever small problems happened, he overthought them for hours. His biggest wish was simple: I just want peace. One warm morning, the animals gathered near the river for the monthly forest meeting. The owls perched on branches, rabbits sat in neat lines, monkeys hung from vines. Even the shy deer came close to listen. Orin flew down and landed quietly. But before he could even fold his wings, 3 young crows swooped toward him with loud, sharp voices. There he is, the silent owl who's afraid of everything. Maybe he came here to cry again. Their voices carried across the river, bouncing off the rocks. Some animals giggled, others looked away in discomfort. A baby rabbit covered his ears. Orin felt embarrassment burn inside him. His wings twitched, his eyes dropped. He wanted to defend himself, but his voice felt locked. So he flew away, higher and higher, until the meeting sounds faded behind him. When he reached his oak tree, he sat alone on a branch, trembling slightly. He whispered to himself, "Why do their words control me?" Tears didn't fall, but the pain sat quietly inside his feathers. That night, the moon shone brightly, turning the forest silver. The air was cool and filled with the smell of night flowers. Orin sat awake, thinking about the crows, thinking about his fear, thinking about how weak he felt. Suddenly, a shadow passed over him, silent and smooth. An older owl landed beside him. It was Sageclaw, the wisest owl in the entire forest. Sageclaw's feathers were a mix of silver and charcoal. His eyes were deep, like he had watched 1,000 sunrises. He said softly, "I saw what happened today." Orin bowed his head. "I try, but I cannot stop feeling hurt." Sageclaw looked at him gently. "Come with me. Tonight I will show you something important." Orin hesitated, then followed. Sageclaw flew silently toward the tall cliffs at the forest's edge. Orin followed, feeling the cold wind rush under his wings. When they reached the cliff, the world opened wide below them. The distant sea crashed against dark rocks. The waves roared loudly. The wind howled like a giant flute. Sageclaw asked, "Does the mountain shake when the waves crash into it?" Orin stared at the giant cliff. "No, the mountain doesn't move." "Exactly," Sageclaw whispered. "These waves make noise, but the mountain does not react." He turned to Orin. "In this forest there are many voices. Some are wise, some are foolish, some are hurt, so they try to hurt others." Orin listened carefully, letting the words sink in. Sageclaw continued, "You cannot stop the noise, but you can stop the noise from entering your heart." Orin opened his wings slightly, as if absorbing the meaning. "So, it is my choice to feel bothered?" "Yes," Sageclaw said firmly. "Being bothered is not something people do to you. It is something you allow inside you." Orin had never thought of it that way. The next morning, Orin felt a new strength, soft but real. He flew to the river clearing again. Everyone was there. The squirrels were arguing over nuts. A parrot was shouting random words. Monkeys were laughing loudly, and yes, the three crows were waiting. They spotted Orin immediately. Look, the weak owl returned. Maybe he learned to cry louder. What a tiny bird! Animals turned their eyes to Orin, waiting, watching. His heart fluttered for a moment. The old emotions tried to rise. But he breathed deeply. He remembered, I am the mountain. He didn't react. He didn't show anger. He didn't show sadness. He simply stood steady, peaceful, calm. His silence was not fear, it was strength. The crows grew confused. Why, isn't he upset? Why isn't he saying anything? Why does he look so calm? Their teasing suddenly felt powerless. Their loud voices seemed like simple wind, passing by, touching nothing. Inside Orin, a warm flame of strength grew. Day by day, Orin practiced. When the parrots argued, he stayed quiet inside. When the monkeys joked loudly, he didn't take it personally. When the crows tried again, their words fell flat. The forest noticed the change. The deer said, the owl is calm like the moon. The rabbits whispered, he has learned something powerful. Even the squirrels stopped teasing him and started asking for advice. But the biggest change happened inside Orin himself. He felt lighter, he felt stronger. Noise no longer controlled him. One evening, Sageclaw visited again. He looked at Orin with pride and said, you have learned the greatest wisdom. Nothing can disturb the heart that is steady within itself. Orin spread his wings and felt a deep sense of freedom. He understood now. Silence is strength. Peace is a choice. So if you ever feel bothered by people, remember Orin the owl. You don't have to react. You can choose peace. You can choose calmness.